called to order at 5:04 this evening. And our first order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
to the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, thank you, everybody. So we'll move right on to public comment. So we are completely virtual today, so we would have to see if there's anybody in addition with us. Anybody, Devin?
Not seeing any online attendees, so I think we are all set.
Okay, all right, perfect. So we will move right on to minutes. So could I have a motion to approve the March 4th, 2026 minutes?
Motion.
Second.
Why am I? Wait, hold on. That's not the right date, is it? Is it today, March 4th?
No, I think that is a mistake. It should be.
Took me a second. February
18th meeting.
February 18th. All right. So let me amend the motion to approve the February 18th, 2026 minutes.
Motion.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? All right, motion passes. So we'll move right on to correspondence received February 14th, 2026 to March 2nd, 2026. We do not have anything included in our agenda packet this evening, so nothing for us to review. I will always mention here, though, that our contact page is still up and working and available for people to submit questions, comments, thoughts, anything to the building committee right on our homepage. So please continue to reach out to us if you're looking for any additional information. That will lead us right into reports. First up is chair report, and I actually am going to provide a quick update here in regard to a previous conversation we've had at our meeting regarding the inclusion of some additional work required for the track and field area that we discussed. Does everybody remember when we had a conversation about Bill had brought forward to us that there was a conversation around kind of including that work in the scope of work for the building committee and how we'd like to proceed around that? Yes. So I just wanted to provide a quick update, and then I'll actually throw it over to Bill to provide some more color as well on this. But there was an initial discussion on this on what was the best way to move forward and what our options were. The recommendation that is currently on the table is that the building committee would not take on that additional work to our project at this time. So what would eventually end up happening here, we're going to talk about our next steps as far as how we're going to administer the project moving forward into close, but that we will actually close out with our current scope of work, not adding anything in addition on to this committee, and then turn the project over to town council, showing our remaining contingency, and then they would take a next step after that based on continued discussion. So it really is of no impact to us at this point based on the recommendation that's forward. I know there's some more conversations that might need to happen at the town council level, but that is the recommendation that we are working on and the assumption we're working on. And so it's in line with the conversations we're going to have in a little bit about the structure of our committee and how we're going to move forward. So Bill, I just want you to provide your color on that as well.
Yeah, sure. Happy to. Good afternoon, everyone. And I'll ask Kat and Russ if they want to chime in at some point if I'm misremembering or if I'm not stating it all correctly, because they were at the meeting as well. But I can certainly represent to everyone here at the building committee that it's the consensus of the council that you guys finish, or that we would like for you guys to finish your work kind of as you are doing it now. You're going to be able to report to the town, hopefully by our town meeting in May, that your work is done, and that your work was done, and you brought us a building on time and under budget. I think the council's position is the council's position is that the building committee certainly deserves that recognition and acknowledgement. As for the remaining money that's slated to be bonded, and as I understand it, the money, and if I'm repeating myself or if I'm saying things you guys already know, I apologize. But for those that might not know, the amount of money that remains subject to bonding under the high school authorization, as I understand it, is approximately $4 million. And one of the things I'm going to definitely want to know, the council's definitely going to want to know, is what is the actual amount that's out there still that is eligible to be bonded as part of the high school project. Because that's really what the town council is going to consider. And our timeline would be sometime in the fall to discuss that, as part of our regular order and regular business. It's been represented to us that we do not, by Joe and this financial staff and by council, that we don't have to go back to the town and get an additional referendum for approval, that it's something that the council can kind of ratify on its own. And then it becomes a project that's run as a capital project through the town. The reason why the council kind of likes doing it, would like to do it that way, if in fact that's ultimately what the council decides to do. I want to be clear about that. That decision has not been made. But if that's what the council decides to do, one of the benefits of that, and I think we might have talked about this here as well at our last meeting, is that project would no longer require like an owner's rep, O&G, all the bells and whistles and the hoops you have to jump through, like you do as part of this is what you're doing right now at the high school. So it would basically fall under the town's own capital program. And so there's an appeal to that because, as I understand it, we could get that project to the point where we could begin work on the track and the field in the summer of 2027. A referendum on the subject, we could certainly do that. It was presented to us by Kathy Blonsky as something we could potentially include as a referendum. The council is not of the mind that wants to do that, in part because we are dealing with the expenditures and the likely need to go to referendum on the repair work on what is now considered the old town hall, right? And that number is about $7 million. So the council is somewhat reluctant to ask the town for another bond on a project that is recognized as necessary. I can say that the council, I think, for the most part, recognizes that the track and field need to be done. Russ did a fantastic job presenting at our capital meeting about the useful life of both the track and the field, and that we're kind of at the end of that. So I think everyone here probably acknowledges and agrees it's probably a good idea to do it. But I think ultimately the town council's plan would be to have a discussion about it in public in the fall and give people have an opportunity and to do it kind of transparently, and then kind of act on what we decide we want to do come October, November timeframe, to get the project either off the ground or we just decide no, we'll just close the loan out or whatever. I don't know what the phrase is for it or the way to describe it is. We wouldn't borrow the money, we wouldn't bond that extra money, and we would just close it out. And we would have to go to the town for a referendum, likely in the spring of 27 for the track and field. So that's kind of where things stand. I think the council is comfortable with that. And so I'm happy to answer any questions if anybody has any, but hopefully I did a good job explaining it. Russ, Kat, am I missing anything or do you think I got it?
No, I think you hit all the major points, Bill. I don't remember going to referendum though. I know we talked about it. It was as a possibility or an option, but I don't know if that's the way we were going to proceed.
No. Then I'm glad I asked for some clarification. I'm glad I asked for that because no, this money would not require a referendum. The only way we have to go to a referendum is if we decide not to use it, close the project out, but we still have the capital requirement to invest on the track and field. But yeah, no, I'm sorry if I wasn't clear on that. This money does not require a referendum. Absolutely not.
Just wanted to clarify that we weren't, that
Thank you.
we talked
Yep.
about it,
Thank you for raising that.
wasn't required, wasn't necessary.
Correct, correct.
Okay, thank you,
Thanks.
Bill. Anybody have any thoughts, questions? We'll take any questions if anybody has any concerns or thoughts, questions on kind of this work or what we just discussed on the impact to this committee in particular. I think it should be clear that it really is, now we've said there is no impact at this time to the committee. We're going to move forward with our conversation a little bit later on in the structure of how we're going to proceed until closeout, but there is no other changes to the work that we're doing. So hopefully that's clear. But does anybody have any questions on that piece of the discussion first? Okay. All right. So I will leave it then on anything else, maybe that any questions for Bill on further updates for town council. No. Okay. All right. Perfect. So that's good. I think that's going to bring some context to our continued conversations on the committee and next steps. But our next report out would be town council anyway. So any other updates, Bill, that you need to provide to us? Anything?
No,
further?
I don't think so at this point. I mean, we're as it relates to this committee's work, no, I think, we're working on other stuff, obviously, relative to, like I said, the 1928 building is now, I think mostly occupied. We're trying to figure out what we're going to do with the old town hall, and that's going to be a town. That's not really a concern for you guys. So yeah, I think we're good. This might be the last opportunity, last really meaningful town council update you guys will have. Because I think the bottom line is the council's kind of expecting and recognizing this committee's work's coming to an end. And there's really not much more that needs to be done that would really truly involve the council's input.
Yeah.
I'll say this, and if you want, I can chime in later. I know, as we talked about, you mentioned it, Meg, how you kind of want to continue this committee's business. The council's on board with that as well.
Okay.
And I'll leave
All
it
right,
to you to
great.
describe that, but the council's on board with that.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, great. All right. So let's move on to Board of Education liaison report.
Sorry, I'm using an iPad.
That's okay.
It throws me off every time. I don't think we really have anything to update this committee on. We're kind of in a bit of a lull. We'll re-engage when we get back into the budget process in March with the town council, but nothing that affects this committee.
Okay, perfect. Any questions for Beth on anything? Okay, let's go to 1928 Building Committee liaison report.
Yeah, thanks, Meg. Nothing significant to report. I mean, we're in the building. I mean, I think we'll look forward to a ribbon cutting in the spring, but we'll keep you updated as that gets clarified. And but all is good.
Excellent. Everything going well in the building?
Yeah,
Those are occupants that are there.
Yep.
Love it. Awesome. Excellent. It's good to hear. Good to hear. All right, perfect. Any questions for Chris? All right, let's move on to project management contingency report, Russ.
Still plugging away, starting to get some more change orders and close out change orders done. We'll be having those going forward for the financial meeting.
Perfect. Any questions for Russ? Anything? All right, let's go to architect report.
Hi, Meg. I don't really have much of a report. Archana is away visiting family overseas, and everything seems to be proceeding well. We're processing the last remaining change orders.
Okay. Any questions for Michael? All right, let's go to construction manager report.
Hi, Meg. Thanks. We have nothing to report on for this meeting.
All right. Any questions for Nelson? All right, let's go to owner's rep, move manager report, Chris.
Just on the high school, continue on checking punch list items. And for the central office, as soon as Archana gets back from her vacation, Dan will be touching base with her so they can schedule a walkthrough to look at the central office punch list, as well as putting together the final list of documents that have been turned over.
Okay, great. All right, any questions for Chris?
Just one, Chris, how much longer do you think you have for back punch?
I was just there this morning, and I have 24 items left on my list. And I just got to touch base with Archana on hers.
For both the high school, 24 just on the high school and or
correct. Just on the high school. And I know they got there's quite a few that were on the list for the bleachers. So obviously we can't get to that yet until snow melts.
Good.
Okay. Next would be financial subcommittee report. Nothing to report out, obviously, because our timing is a little bit different for this meeting. Anything for financial report, Kat? Anything specific?
Nope, no report for that.
All right. Okay, so let's go right into new business. So obviously, the purpose of this meeting and the agenda is slightly different than our normal meetings together. So I'm going to put this motion out on the table for discussion. So could I have a motion to authorize the Farmington High School Building Committee Financial Subcommittee to approve and submit invoices and change orders for the Farmington High School State Project number 052-0076N and Central Office State Project number 052-007BE projects. I got to read it. Hold on. How do you know I'm in? Now I don't know where I am in the sentence. Effective March 4th, 2026 through the closeout of the project. Upon completion, it will bring back all its approvals to the full Farmington High School Building Committee for project record only, and at which point the projects will be accepted as complete.
Now I'll raise your motion.
Thank you, Michael.
Can I second? Since I don't know if I can do it for myself. Can I?
You're good. We're good.
Okay. All right.
All right. So we'll open this up for discussion. Kat, you want to walk us through kind of our thinking here and what this means for us?
Sure. So I think we discussed this briefly at our last meeting, but essentially what this motion does is it authorizes the financial subcommittee to kind of move forward with the rest of the project. This way, it's kind of a transition down to closeout. So what will happen now is the full committee is giving the authority to the subcommittee to approve and submit invoices and change orders. So we will no longer have our Wednesday nightly meetings. All the actions will occur at the finance subcommittee meetings, which are the second Friday of the month at 9 a.m. And this will happen through the closeout of the project. Then we will have one final full committee meeting where the committee will approve and acknowledge all of the actions taken by the financial subcommittee for the record. So this is really just for the audit to bring it back to the committee. It'll be one motion. We're not going to do a million motions to approve all of the actions that have taken place. We worked with Emily at Arcadis on this motion to make sure it was in line with any requirements by the state. And this is just an effective way for us to start to transition to the closeout, being mindful of everybody's time and contribution to the project already, and allowing the financial subcommittee just to bring it to the finish line.
Okay. One thing I did ask Ken Devon about is that could we expand the distribution of the agenda to the entire building committee for the financial subcommittee? So that is something we're going to proceed with. That is nothing you need to take action on in particular, but it will keep you informed of the work that's going to be happening at the subcommittee level. And, you know, I would urge you just to kind of take a look through what's there. Certainly, you are more than welcome to join any of those meetings. If you have a question or concern, anything you want to bring up during the subcommittee meeting, but it'll just be another way to keep everybody informed. And then, you know, obviously bringing everything back to the full committee when the time is right.
Yep, and it's no problem to include everybody on distribution. Like Meg said, anybody who's able to attend and stay informed. The voting members for the subcommittee are Meg, Michael, and Suraj, but all are welcome.
Okay, anybody have any thoughts, questions, concerns, anything about this approach or rationale for this?
I just jump in, Meg, and just kind of confirm, you know, what I said before, that, yeah, the town council's okay with this.
Okay.
So Mike, this is
Okay.
just do we know like how far this might go into? This is just curious.
I think as of right now, I think we're projecting, and you guys can Russ, our professional partners, anybody can correct me. We're thinking probably end of April or May is I think the general timing. Is that correct? Are we still thinking that?
That's what we're shooting for.
Yep.
Let Nelson and Jess jump in to chime in as well, because they're the ones that are going to be producing all the documents.
Yeah, right now it's primarily just allowance reconciliation. So a lot of those were approved last meeting, and there'll be another batch of them on this upcoming meeting, sub-finance meeting with our pay app. So I would say late April, early May.
Thank you.
Any other thoughts, questions, anything else that anybody wants to discuss before we vote? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Oops, sorry. Opposed? All right, motion passes. So that obviously puts the next step in motion. So we're going to talk in a minute about the actual building committee meetings that are scheduled. And you will notice there is a item G2 here, which is a motion to review the subcommittee for the financial subcommittee members. It looks like Kat, we listed them here, and Kat just mentioned it's myself, Michael Smith, Suraj, and then we obviously have representatives from the town and the school, and our professional partners attend as well. Based on commitments and everybody's willingness to continue as voting members on this committee, I don't think we need to take any action on this motion right now, but it gave us the flexibility just in case we needed to make any adjustments. Okay, all right. So then let's move right on to other business, and that is to discuss the Farmington High School Building Committee meeting schedule. So the plan is that we are not going to be canceling any of the committee meetings that are currently on, right, Kat, if I got this right? Yes.
Yeah, so the next meeting, the March 18th, I believe it is, meeting, we will not hold.
Yeah.
So we'll cancel that meeting, but we wanted to we weren't going to make motions to cancel all of the meetings right now, just in case something happened, we needed to call the full committee. But we intend to, as we move along, cancel the meetings that are listed on our schedule, which is the 1st and 3rd. It's easier, like we've said for 7 years, it's easier to cancel a meeting than it is to add a meeting. So we intend to cancel the 18th, April 1st, April 15th, and potentially into May, but we're going to do that. We will send announcements to formally cancel, but we wanted just to keep it in the event we needed something. And then keeping on the 1st May or the 2nd May meeting allows us to, when the finance subcommittee finishes their work and we do need that one final building committee meeting, it's already scheduled. So we don't have to look to add a meeting. So that's our plan moving forward. The March 18th, Meg, if you want to do a motion to cancel that one, that would be okay. And then we intend to cancel the April meetings. We will send notice of that.
Okay, so why don't we do that now? Could I have a motion to cancel the March 18th Farmington High School Building Committee meeting?
Motion?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes, so you can absolutely take that one off your calendar. I was remiss as well to thank Michael and Suraj for their willingness to continue to participate in the subcommittee and extend some more time to us. So on behalf of the entire building committee, I will say thank you to you guys for your willingness to do that. So we'll try to keep those as easy and convenient as possible as we move forward.
We also need a plaque at the end of this.
All right, Suraj, I'll put an order. I'll put an order in for everybody.
No, just kidding. Thank you.
On our, just give me 5 minutes before the meeting. I'll use that last reminder.
Yes, exactly. That's okay. It's all right. All right, great. Anything else we need to cover tonight?
I think we're good.
Okay, so it's going to be a little bit of break for most of us for a little bit, but we will be back together. Don't worry. It's not a goodbye forever quite yet. You're not rid of this quite yet. So let's go to adjournment. Could I get a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion. Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, we will adjourn at 5:31 this evening.